Hey guys, welcome to News to Science, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And today we got hit with a brand new detailed spec sheet, or at least I can call it a basic detailed spec sheet about the new Xbox Series X. This just dropped on Xbox's Twitter, and I decided, I want to go over this with you guys, and kind of get your thoughts on it because this is rather simple. I mean, a lot of this stuff that we're seeing here right on the screen on the webpage as we speak, are like there are things that we expected to see on the next console, the next generation of consoles. And let's go ahead and go over it briefly, and then I'll let you know what are my thoughts. And of course, in the very end, I want to know what your thoughts are. And then we're going to be going on to the live stream later on tonight, right after this video shortly. So anyways, let's go onto the website and review what is here. Now, there is a lot of coverage that we have to go over with, but I'm not going to go over everything because I just don't have any time, and I just don't really feel like it, because a lot of the things here that you see here on this site is pretty much common sense. A lot of things that we expected. I mean, nothing is really surprising these days, especially, since E3 is still going, surprisingly. Nothing's that much of a surprise anymore these days, and Microsoft is still attending E3, but it's still a story for another time and for another video. Let's go ahead and look at this right here, this little sheet that the Xbox Twitter decided to drop on us today, and here it reads 12 teraflops. Actually, I didn't know about the teraflops amount. If I recall correctly, the Xbox One X has like about, I think, 8 or 10 teraflops. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have an Xbox One X, so I'm sorry if I got it wrong. I know the PlayStation has like 6.2 teraflops or 4.2. It's one of those two. I don't remember. Anyways, variable rate shading. Kind of already knew that. Hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. Of course, we were expecting ray tracing in this console. I mean, what other time could you put ray tracing than now? I mean, we need to have ray tracing in the consoles. Sony PlayStation is expected to have ray tracing in their console, so I'm pretty sure the Xbox Series X will have ray tracing as well. Quick resume for multiple games. Of course, yes, the Xbox console and the PlayStation console are going to be running on SSD memory, no longer mechanical hard drives, so it will not slow down the performance of these consoles. So it's perfect for multitasking and switching between games and resuming games or whatnot. And of course, faster loading times and smart delivery, whatever that means. Let's go ahead and start off by reading the article here. It's a superior balance of power and speed. Compared to the previous generation, Xbox Series X represents a superior balance of power and speed in console design, advancing all technological fronts of delivering amazing dynamic living worlds and minimize any aspects that can take you out of the experience. So next generation custom processor, we already have an idea with the processors what they're going to be using. I know that both the Xbox, and I keep going back to PlayStation, and PlayStation, the new ones are going to be using the latest AMD, latest Zen 2 architecture and RDNA 2 architectures. So they're going to be delivering 4 times the processing power of the original Xbox One and enabling developers to leverage 12 teraflops of GPU, graphics processing unit. So if you guys don't know about, the PC. Twice the amount of the Xbox One X, of course, and more than 8 times than the original Xbox One. So when the original Xbox One launched, it really launched with like abysmal processing units, and it was really piss poor quality. I mean, these things were running on Jaguar cores, and it just wasn't all that great. That they had to do refresh and updates, refresh on the current gen of consoles by releasing the Xbox One X that delivered what exactly should have been from the very beginning when the new generation came out at that time, which was back in like 2013. So this time it's going to be a gigantic leap over the last generation of consoles, because we're already in the eve of the new generation of consoles. So when these new consoles come out, it's definitely going to be a hell of a noticeable difference in terms of performance, graphic fidelity, and pretty much overall everything's going to be a major improvement. It's not going to be like a minor improvement, like a minor step. This is going to be leaps and bounds way over the original Xbox One X. So I'm pretty excited for the new Xbox One X. I just want to know what are your thoughts on it. Let's go on to variable rate shading. Now, it says here our patent form of VRS empowers developers to more efficiently utilize the full power Xbox Series X. Rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on the screen, they can prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or important environment objects. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact on the final image quality. this is great. I'm pretty excited for that. I do want to have a consistent game with consistent frame rates, where I don't want to see any drops or whatsoever. So this is actually pretty good news, because to this very day we do get drops here and now and then, which is pretty much passable and acceptable for the most part, because for the most part the game looks great. I guess you could say like maybe 95% of the time, to be fair. But no, for the next generation consoles, I am very confident that they can handle the consistent frame rate, and they can keep it at the frame rate that they say that it's going to be delivering at. So those are my expectations for these next consoles, because again, there's no details as far as the RAM goes and other specs. I mean, they just gave us like pretty much the basic specs that we pretty much knew what we were going to be getting. And with the next generation consoles, I do have high expectations this time, because what we got from like the initial release of the PS4 and the Xbox One, it was like abysmal quality, and we didn't really exactly get what we promised. And only for them to improve upon it later on in the mid-generation refresh, it's like, wow, we had to wait even longer to get exactly what we wanted. But we're not exactly there yet, but only time will tell. And of course, when we arrive at the launch of these new generation consoles, then we will see the final product. Hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. You can expect more dynamic, realistic environments powered by hardware accelerated direct ray tracing, a first for console gaming. This means true to life lighting, accurate reflections, and realistic acoustics in real time as you explore the game world. This is great. If you really want to be really immersed into the games, then what better way to do it than to have like sort of an emulation of true to life lighting and accurate reflections. These games really look good when they do. A lot of games actually do that. For example, even like the racing games like Forza. If you've noticed, I mean, those games, you can easily take advantage of like the frames and the ray tracing and like the light reflections, because not much is done in those games. Like those are really strategic games. They don't require to explore the world, so it kind of takes advantage of the fact that these games are pretty small, but they get to focus a lot of the graphic fidelity on the cars and the landscapes and the area that you're in, which makes the car seem so real. It makes it look that more realistic, which is why these games tend to look better than other games. Where instead of an open world game, all that focus cannot be placed on open world games as good as, let's say, racing games like Forza. So I can only imagine what those games are going to look like in the future, and I'm pretty excited to see what that's going to look like. So again, what I covered before, SSD storage, very important, especially for the way that, especially about the way that these consoles are going to be built and the specs. They need to have SSD. And a minimum 1 terabyte, because these games be coming in like 100 gigabytes, 50 gigabytes at a time, even 150 gigs. I think we should have no more than a minimum of 1 terabyte of SSD. I could use a little bit of extra, like maybe 1.5 terabytes, even 2 terabytes. But if you want to keep it at a minimum terabyte, and then you can allow yourself to connect an external hard drive, I'm all for it. So nearly aspect of playing games is improved. So yes, that's very important. We're going to be having smooth gameplay, smooth loading times, and multitasking and whatnot. So SSD is an important factor. Games worlds are larger, more dynamic, and load in the flash, and fast travel is just that fast. So that's really important. Quick resume, dynamic latency. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through here. Now, this is something that really caught my attention. I'm not entirely sure if my TV has 2.1. I doubt it. I did buy my TV in like about 2018, I want to say, the holiday season. I actually bought it for my birthday in 2018. I don't think the TVs are utilizing HDMI 2.1, but I'll take a look and see if it is. I doubt it, but my TV is 4K capable. And they say here that they've partnered with HDMI forum and TV manufacturers to enable the best gaming experience throughout features such as auto low latency mode and variable refresh rate. And ALLM allows Xbox One and Xbox Series X to automatically set the connected displays to its lowest latency mode. VRR synchronizes the display refresh rate to game's frame rate, maintaining smooth visuals without tearing, ensuring minimum lag and most responsive game experience. So 120 FPS support. I believe my TV can support 120 FPS with support of up to 120 FPS. Xbox Series X allows developers to exceed standard 60 FPS output in favor of heightened realism or fast-paced action. So the next generation of game compatibility, again, Xbox has been confirmed that they're going to be supporting older generations of Xbox games, including from like the original Xbox. So, and then they're going to bring greater visual fidelity. I already mentioned that. Continuing commitment to compatibility with Xbox Series X and invest in technology that makes game ownership easier across generations. So, smart delivery, Xbox Game Pass. I have not tried it. I heard nothing but great things about it. Good. The beauty of it is that you don't really need to be an Xbox owner. I mean, if you already own an Xbox, or if you already own a PC, you can actually connect your Xbox controller and start playing Xbox games right on your PC. So it makes a lot of sense, I guess, to get Xbox Game Pass. I think it's only like $5 a month. Totally worth the investment. You get access to a lot of games. Xbox Game Pass will continue our first-party games like Halo Infinite, including at their launch. And then they look forward to millions of us experiencing the Xbox Game Pass portfolio and blah, blah, blah. And you get access to a library of high-quality games. And the generation plays with the center, blah, 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 and all that stuff. So a lot of exciting things, and this is just I'm sorry if this video feels really rushed for you guys, but I just wanted to bring this up because I can't help but, share my excitement with you guys. I can't really contain it. I am, I guess you can call it an intermediate gamer. I am pretty excited for this. I'm not always super stoked for like the next FPS or racing game or fighting game or whatever. I'm not that kind of person. I just love a good game with a great story. Action adventure is my preference, really. That's how it's always been for me throughout the years since I've been playing video games. There was a brief period in my life where I took a break and I didn't play games for a while. But ever since that resurgence of me playing video games came back, like around, let's say, I want to say 2010, 2011, I've been full-on gamer mode ever since. Granted, not a lot of games, but I played some pretty good ones, really popular ones that people like, and the ones that I actually got into. Like, I played some really cool video games over the years. So I am really stoked about this generation of gaming. Cannot wait to get my hands on the new Xbox Series X and, of course, the PlayStation 5. Come on, I'm not going to forget that. So you let me know your thoughts, guys. What are your thoughts on these specs on the new Xbox Series X? And what console are you going to go pick up, the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X? You let me know down below, and if you're going to pick up both, let me know why. And what are you most excited about mostly for the next generation consoles? Anyways, that's my video for today. I just want to, talk about this, and if you stop by to check out this video, thank you very much. Please stay tuned. Got a live stream coming tonight around 9 o'clock, and I will see you guys all at the live stream. So anyways, once again, thank you very much, and I'll see you all in the next video.